Brahma Vishnuhu Gururdevo Maheshwaraha Gurureva Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjalashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Akhandamandalakar Vyaptam Yena Characharam Tatpadam Darshitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Aneka Janma Samprapya Janma Dharmavidahine Atma Jnana Pradhanena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Mannatho Shri Jagannatha Matguru Shri Jagadguru Mamatma Sarvabhutatma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Brahmanandam Paramasukadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Trigunarahitam Tattvamasyaadhibhutam Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadhi Sakshibhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami Sadgurum Tam Namami Sadgurum Tam Namami Sadgurum Tam Namami Krishnaya Vasudevaya Haraye Paramatmane Pranatakleshanashaya Govindaya Namo Namaha Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsachaluramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadguru Vakratunda Mahakala Suryakoti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kuru Me Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada. So, coming back to our Bhagavad Gita session, chapter 7. In the previous two sessions, one was, of course, a revision, and the other one was, one was on Jnana Vijnana, and second, we have revised the concepts, and we have seen that Krishna has very clearly mentioned a person who is really, committed to spiritual perfection, Siddhi. He will slowly understand that my reality is not what is seen now, Arjuna. Actually, it's not the way you are seeing me in this human form. It's much more beyond that. So saying, he says, I am the pure consciousness, that is the Sachidananda, and my projection is this Maya. So he calls it as Apara Prakriti, Para Prakriti. Grossly, we must understand that everything what we see in this world is not the permanent, but we cannot say that it is not, it's, we can say it's not real, it's illusory, it is impermanent, but we must accept that even in the things that we are seeing around us, his consciousness is being manifested, it is being shown. But that is not all. Every human being is endowed with the power to explore, to go within, to, inquire, to show bhakti, to understand that whatever we are seeing is just a fraction, the real truth, the absolute truth, or the real happiness, or the real bliss, or the real way to get rid of all our problems is when we reach or when we manifest the divinity. Words are little complicated. We continue doing our day-to-day activities. And with an understanding that this is all Prakriti and we should not restrict our growth. We should not restrict for becoming a professor, or becoming a doctor, or becoming a mother, becoming a grandmother. These are all events which will automatically happen. But what essentially human being should do is to go within, explore, and understand that all this is coming from something so blissful that one step I take towards that is giving me so much of happiness, which did not happen in my usual day-to-day activities. When I won any trophy, or when I got a promotion, or when I made some money, I did become happy. But that happiness was very limited, and it was related to this, nature around us, the material world, the matter. We interacted, we enjoyed, but it was very temporary. Again came some kind of disappointment, some suffering. But when I start exploring, why is this happening? Is there something which is controlling this? Is there any law of karma? Is there any bhakti? Is there any path that is involved wherein I can actually understand how best I should interact with this world and not get affected, not become morose, not become depressed? So emotional, disturbances, extreme emotional disturbance. How do I get over it? Once a person starts thinking and goes within, he will understand actual reality. And when he starts taking up those practices very seriously, then the manifestation, the divinity starts showing. Until then, we are all having a hazy vision. We are deluded, and that is only called as moha, mudha, moha, ignorance. Everything comes under that. So in this chapter, he says, when you start exploring, then only you will understand who I am actually. So even if we read Bhagavad Gita, unless we are clear about, we have that little bit of understanding, we will not be able to appreciate this reality. That becomes jnana when we are able to appreciate. Another step is when you sit, contemplate, meditate, or show bhakti, complete surrender, and experience. That becomes a vijnana. That is what Krishna wants us to do. Vijnana, my thoughts, purely my thoughts, need not be a pure samadhi. Even in our day-to-day activities, sometimes suddenly you feel unexpected things happen, unexpected thoughts come, unexpected situations which make you feel so good, which just came, with totally, you are not prepared, but it was something so blissful. So there also, I feel those experiences, if you can observe in a subtle way, you will feel that some divine spark or some divine manifestation in an extraordinary way has happened in my life. Some moments, it may not be a very long, hours or days together. Some moments you may feel that in your body, or you may start sensing something different in your own personality. These are all experiences of the divinity. To some extent, we can call it as vijnana. But ultimate vijnana is when a person actually experiences oneness with that Brahman and oneness with the entire world. That's what he says. And he has described earlier what is Brahmi Sthiti, what is Parabrahma Sthiti, all that he has mentioned. So with that, now he is explaining his reality apart from his manifestation in Kurukshetra as a Avatara Purusha. He doesn't call it Avatar Purusha. He says his friend, but with divine qualities, with superhuman qualities, and therefore Arjuna regards him as one of the greatest supporter. So from there, now he says, we have seen that this entire world is nature with all matter, material, of some, if we speak in our language, chemical elements. All those are his creation of Prakriti. And those chemical elements in combinations bring about living and non-living manifestations. Living as well as non-living is composed of those five basic elements. But to make them functioning, it is his para prakriti, that is his consciousness, which is manifesting through that prakriti, which helps these things to evolve. The tree grows, human being grows. All this is because of his manifestation. The functioning of an extraordinary expression is because of his consciousness. His consciousness is there in inanimate, non-living as well as living, but more manifested in the living, much more manifested in the human being, most manifested in the Siddhi Purusha. As and when we evolve ourselves, we turn inwards, we start exploring, we show bhakti, more is his manifestation. And apart from that, even in the nature, he has told very well that no doubt I created this basic Pancha Mahabhuta, and so Ahankara, everything, it has come. But what is the basic principle in that? For example, in water, I am the rasa, that is liquidity as well as the taste. And in the sun, I am the radiance. And in the all these shlokas and Vedas, I am the pranava, omkara. And on the earth, I am the smooth, I am the sweet fragrance. And that's how he keeps on describing that whatever is shining, I think that the active principle in that is my manifestation. I am manifesting more in that. In Surya, even you can see light everywhere, but Surya is the ultimate. So in him also, I am the radiance. And then he says, in tapasvis, I am the tapas. That means in the and the austerity, in the ascetics. Then he says, I'm the eternal seed. Bijamma sarva bhutana. I'm the eternal seed of all beings. I'm the intellect of the intelligence, and I'm the heroism of the hero. What will happen to the hero without the heroism? That heroism is the content. That is the core which makes him a hero. So you can understand he is the core. So in other words, if all the living beings, we can uh, correlate that if we think of genes as something which will code for anything, any living being, it is he who is there in those genes. And as Swami Ranganatha Anandaji says, that genes have been derived from Jiva. That is his explanation. Jiva. Jiva Bhutanam. So the genes actually comes from there. It has been that the language also has evolved from there. That is his explanation. From there, now, very different way, different aspects, most interesting. We can follow shloka by shloka. So 11th one, Balam Balavatam Chaham Kamaraga Vivarjitam Dharma Viruddho Bhuteshu Kamosmi Bharatarshava. See, look at this. Balam Balavatam Cha Aham Kamaraga Vivarjitam. Balavata means person who is very strong. Okay. I am the strength. As we mentioned, the core is him. Core is the divinity, or core is the consciousness. So he says, I am the strength. Consciousness is manifested as strength. I am the strength among the strongest, which is devoid of kama and raga. That means sensual desire and attachment. I am also that sensual desire in beings. First, let us understand this. Unopposed to dharma. Dharma aviruddho bhuteshu kamosmi bharatarshava. Among the people who are strong, I am the strength. But he puts a clause. That strength which is devoid of desire, and desire means sensual, kama. that is bodily desire mostly. That is the toughest desire to be overcome. So he says devoid of sensual desire and attached. Strength which is devoid of that. What is the meaning of that? People are strong, but that strength may be utilized for their personal benefits. It may be utilized for the sensual pleasures. I am not that. I am the strength in those strong people who are devoid of kama and raga. That means who are using their strength for the help, for helping others, for selfless service. There also we need strength, like we have our prime minister who is so selfless, without any political bias, I'm saying, who has a spiritual acumen, and he is a strength, mental and physical both. We are referring to both. Balavatam cha aham. I am the strength. I am the strength in those strong people, provided and those who are without sensual desires and attachment. That means who utilize the strength, that is their skill. They are always very velashali, like Bhima, like Arjuna, but who are without unnecessary kama and attachment. Then he says, dharma aviruddha bhutesh. Bhutam is living beings. Those people who are followers of dharma, in them, I bring about that sensual desire. So beautifully he has explained. See, kamosmi. For those who are strong and who want to utilize for better things, I am the strength without kama and raga. I will ensure that that strength is utilized or it is manifested without any desire or attachment. However, the next one is very, very meaningful. However, see, householders, married people, they have definitely a physical relationship between the husband and wife, let's say, for a purpose. So there, that is in the dharma, in the purview of dharma. It has a boundary of dharma. We don't call it as a sensual desire. It is expected. Dharma, artha, kama, moksha. Four purusharthas for householder. So there, I am the kama. That means a person who is engrossed in, who not engrossed, who has a physical relationship with his wife, man with his wife, at the right time, in the right, with the right attitude, because I'm going to talk about that also. There, I am the kama. He says he is a kama there. We cannot condemn that it is wrong. No, it is not like that. Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa also says kama kanchana. Yaga. We have to sacrifice kama kanchana. Kama is sensual desires, kanchana is the money. Ultimately, yes, it should be done. But they have also mentioned that unnecessary, unwarranted desires have to be abandoned. So in line with that, Krishna is saying now, the kama which exists between the husband and wife, that is dharma, isn't it? So there I am the kama. But he will not be the same kama in extramarital affairs or the sexual relationships which are not accepted by the law of the land, we can say like that. Dharma is what? Law of the land. It cannot be generalized. Yuga dharma and yuga means at that time whatever is dharma, it should follow that. So if it is following that, because this kama, this is a very beautiful statement which clarifies so many doubts, because many times people feel engaging in physical relationship with among the spouses should not happen. No, it is not like that. It should be there. The relationship is to bring out the best progeny for the society. Therefore, actually, the Vedas and Upanishads have prescribed certain rules and regulations on this activity also. When it should be done, how it should be done. If it is not done that way, then the resulting progeny will be it will be disastrous actually. In case of Hiranyakashipu, he is father of Prahalad. Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha, these are two asuras. Of course, they were blessed and they were born with a purpose. But how they were born, if you look at the history, they were born to Kashyapa Muni and Aditi. And actually, they are born out of a relationship which happened during the evening hours. Kashyapa Muni was doing tapas, he was doing some meditation in the evening, and she wants to have a relation at that time. Aditi, his wife. But Kashyapa Muni says this is not the time. One is I'm meditating, and this Sandhikal, evening, sunset, Sandhyakal. At that time, Shiva goes for, on tour. And this time we are supposed to be meditating. We are supposed to be doing some other thing. And night we should have this. She says, I'm not able to control. And then they have the relation. And then two demons are born, twins. So this is what they say. The Puranas and history also, Itihasa also says that even the mindset of people who are in karma matters to get the rightmost progeny. To get the rightmost progeny, that is what is important. But human being, human mind cannot be so well controlled. But there are certain timings, certain relationship. I mean, no, at least no extramarital, no. Having the love between. It's not only the physical. It's having the acceptance, acceptability. I'm saying upfront in expressing this because this matters. And another thing is, even when Dhritarashtra and Pandu were born, when Vedavyasa goes and has a relationship with Ambe Ambalike, they were not accepting him. They were not. One lady closes her eyes, they say that's the reason Dhritarashtra was born blind. We don't know how the science can prove this, but our age-old science, ancient wisdom and ancient science has proved. And it is also known now in the modern this one that before pregnancy, the woman's psychology, probably that refers to this kind of acceptance and coherence, or good relationship with the husband, mental relationship. All that goes into the making of the individual's makeup, which is very dynamic. I hope I'm clear. Our genetic expressions are also changing. So when the married woman and the married man come together, their psychology also matters at the time of physical relationship and otherwise, so that the progeny which is born with a good, healthy mental and physical, good mental and physical health. So I am linking science with this, but this very clearly substantiates whatever I'm saying with this shloka, saying that I am the Kam, I am the divinity. That means at least people should follow some dharma in exercising Kama. That is the meaning. So, dharma aviruddho, dharma aviruddho, aviruddha means against, bhuteshu. Okay, dharma aviruddha means those who are not going against dharma, that means those who are following dharma. I am the Kama. He comes as Kama. That means he supports that Kama. He encourages that kind of Kama, which is in the purview of Dharma. So this we have to keep it in our mind. So that is Swami Ranganathanandaji puts it as a disciplined Kama. Very, very beautiful. How much control. See, this is a very higher thinking. So much disciplined Kama. So Kama, they say, can go haywire. People who get into that mode will not think about anything, but that we are supposed to think. That's what he says. Ye chaiva satvika bhava rajasa tamasa chaye matta eveti tan vidhi natvaham teshu te mai. So he says, Satvika, Rajasa, Tamasa. We have categorized 3 gunas, isn't it? Whatever states pertaining to Sattva, whatever states pertaining to Rajas and to Tamas are there, know them, matta eveti tanvidhi. Know them to proceed from me only. All these gunas have come from me. We have seen that, no, in that chart. It comes from Ahankara. Parabrahma, Mahattattva, then Ahankara. Then on one side we said Pancha Mahabhuta, then we said Gunas. I'm sorry, first the 3 gunas, and everything comes from that guna. From the Sattvika guna came the mind and the deities. From the Tamasika guna actually came the Pancha Mahabhutas and Tanmatras. And Rajasika, from the Rajasika came the Prana. Isn't it? Buddhi, Prana, all those. And they are all interacting with each other. These are origin. So he is saying, from me, the gunas have come from me only. But I am not in them. I have projected them. They have know them to be proceeding from me alone. But I am not in them. I am not in them. I am not in the gunas per se. He manifests through them, but he is not in the gunas. That is Prakriti, is projected. But they are in me. So he says that all these three gunas have come from him. So all these are there means now you understand three types of personalities, and all the three are in anybody's personality also. So we should not condemn just because he is tamasic, because they also have come from him. We should not condemn a person with rajasic saying that he is not doing any dhyana meditation, he's only doing the work. No. So also sattvic is also him. So he says they are all projected from me alone, and they exist. It's understood that in a single person, each of these may exist in different combination. It cannot happen that there is no, it's 100% sattvic, no. Because when a person sleeps, he is said to be in a tamasic state. When he's working, he is said to be in a rajasic state. But he changes the attitude during his work, then he becomes a sattvic, more predominantly sattvic. So he says that all these three gunas are projected from me only. So we'll go little more in detail in the from the next shloka. But he says, I am not caught by this. I am free. I am free. So just understand at this moment, we will not confuse. They are my projections. Now the next one is important. त्रिभिर्गुणमयैर्भावैः एभिः सर्वमिदं जगत् मोहितं नाभिजानाति माम् एभ्यः परमव्ययम्. So now he says that these gunas, what do they do? See, beautiful is his creation only. It's his creation only. He makes those gunas, he brings that ahankara, and then through that ahankara is that energy, from that all the gunas come and everything starts. Nature, human, animals, plants, everything. In the human also, all the three gunas are there. Outside also, three gunas are there. Let us think of our gunas. Because of these three gunas, he says, he comes as Jivatma in every being. But because of these, deluded by these three states, Tribhir Gunamayir Bhavaihi Evihi Sarvamidam Jagat. Okay. The world is deluded by these three states. It is deluded. It is totally masked. Therefore, the world does not know me, who is beyond them and who is immutable, imperishable. Andre, the gunas, just imagine, the gunas have got the properties which we have discussed, isn't it? The sattvika guna is always compassionate, empathic, but that doesn't mean divinity is more manifested there. But it doesn't go beyond. I mean, it's still in a guna. It is still in the sense of I am good, I am nice, I am compassionate, I only speak truth. I is body, me, as long as I told you, but it is good. Rajasic person is over ambitious, greed, anger, and all that. So, and tamasic is totally ignorant, lazy, predominant tamasic. So, because of all this, no, people do not see the divinity which is beyond. This is created as a wheel, and therefore they say we are mohitam. Our vision becomes hazy. We presume that it is all real, but we are under the influence of these three gunas, which is making us not see the things clearly. That means the jnana gets obstructed. The vision of Parabrahma gets obviously, no, we saw that hierarchy. Where are the gunas? They are here. Now, next shloka again. I'm going a little faster because certain things we have already discussed. So next it says, so consciousness is there, but because of these three medium, no, it becomes a hazy. Just like if you see, we had this transparent, translucent, and opaque. I think that would be the best example. Opaque is what? You can't see anything. that you can see something that can be comparable to a tamasic person. Opaque, nothing is there. I don't see. Where can I see? Because he sees an opaque object. And let's imagine there is an opaque medium and there is divinity there. I am here. I cannot see anything when it is opaque. Second one is translucent. Partially the light transmits and I can see something there, right? I can see something there, but it's not clearly visible. Rajasic. Totally transparent. There is a glass and I can see something. That we can call it as sattvic. Now remove that also. One on one, that becomes going beyond the gunas. This is how the progression takes place. How does this take place? Now he says in the next shloka. Daivi hesha gunamayi mama maya duratyaya mameva ye prapadyante mayam etam tarantite. So beautiful. Now he only says he has put this the same media functioning in a different ways. Let's understand little. I will not go into a complexities of Maya because again we are discussing this. Daivihi Esham Gunamai. Verily, this divine Maya of mine, Esha, Esha Gunamai Mama Maya. This divine Maya of mine constituted by the gunas, Duratyaya, very difficult to cross over. Very difficult. See how clever and mischievous he is. He only has created and he wants to see how we are going to put an effort. But he has also given us the ways and means. So he says, I have kept a greatest obstacle and it is created by me. This divine Maya, Maya is not devil, it is a divine. It is a divine. How it will be divine, we will see. Divine Maya of mine constituted of these gunas. Gunas constitute the Maya. Gunas constitute the material energy. Good, bad, everything is there, isn't it? Guna is what? Good and bad. Broadly, if we can put it as good, bad, and something in between. So all that is constituted in the universe, all that is there in our mind, inside, outside, everywhere. It is nothing but the play of these gunas only. Permutation, combination. Sometimes I become very sattvic, something great inspiration I get, I become very sattvic. Sometimes I am so dull. Sometimes I show my anger. Sometimes I say very abusing words. So all that is permutation, combination of these gunas. So we are supposed to, he says we are supposed to tide over that. We are supposed to transcend those. We are supposed to go above that. So therefore he says, Daivi, this is divine Maya. I have hurdle race, we have seen, no? Who creates that? An organizer only will create. And they will see who comes first, who goes next. Have you seen the hurdle race? You jump, maybe there is this much of height, we jump, and the next is still higher, then third one is still higher. So they try to see who has the extreme strength to cross that. So with this, we can compare that our journey of this life is also similar to that. So this Maya proposes as these challenges. So this divine Maya, constituted of the gunas, it is very difficult to cross over. Then Mameva ye prapatyante. But those who devote themselves to me alone, those prapadyante means devotion or surrender. But those who devote themselves to me alone, they can cross over this illusion. They can cross over this illusion. What do we do in a hurdle race? What do we do in a marathon? What do we do in a sprints? We practice, isn't it? Not we sports athletes. What do? Day and night they practice. They take care of their physical health. They take care of their diet. They take care of their mental stress. Every angle they work because they just want to win over. It's exactly winning over Maya. Similar to that, but you cannot compare. Much more difficult because it has got accumulated samskars, accumulated vasanas. So many things are playing there and the environment. So we have a lot of challenges, but the solution is Mameva ye prapatyante. He, Mam eva means me alone. Me means Parabrahma. Krishna is saying about Nirakara, Nirguna. It doesn't have any religion. It is the creator. So that creator. So Mameva ye prapadyante. mayam etam tarantite. So they can cross. Taranti means swim or cross. If you surrender, if those who surrender, then they can cross over. How will they cross over? When we surrender, we are surrendering our ego. And as I said, surrendering our ego to what? We are using the choice. It's all part of the mind, part of the Maya only. Therefore, he calls divine. We use that same Maya, same mind, and we offer it to God. We say, God, you are the creator. I am not the creator. Guide me. When we keep doing this repeatedly, and we start showing that kind of attitude towards others, saying that everybody is his manifestation, then we can cross over. And what do we see clearly means? We see clearly. That means that moha will go, that opacity will go, translucence will go, transparency also will go. Everything will go. We can see him clearly. Divinity means we get complete wisdom of the functioning of the whole world as one. And that solves all the miseries. And that is a liberation. Okay. So he says we have to cross over by becoming, by devoting to me alone and steadfast devotion. So, Maya has two dimensions, avidya Maya and vidya Maya. Why does he say it is divine Maya? Because one is it's his creation. Second one is just as we remove a thorn with there's a thorn. Let's say it has pricked your sole of your foot. How do you remove it? You remove it another thorn, or you remove it with another pointed object only. No? So a pointed object is used to remove another pointed object, isn't it? So like that, he says, use Maya for Maya. Use Maya to cross over the Maya. Surrender is nothing but Vidya Maya. And ignorance is avidya Maya. So it's told by Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. He says, avidya Maya, Vidya Maya. Avidya Maya is Maya of ignorance. So that people say, oh, this is all Maya. This is dragging us down. It is taking us away. Kama, Krodha, Lobha. All this is avidya Maya. Whatever is not taking us towards divinity, that aspect of Maya is called avidya Maya. The same Maya, the same nature, let's call it as a nature. What is a nature? The same thoughts, we can say. The same thoughts. Thoughts are Maya only. Good thoughts, bad thoughts. Any thought that takes us downwards, the thinking will start giving you explanations. No, 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 no. You should not go there. You should not go here. You should not talk good. Avoid this person. Give him back. Use this word, abusive words, depending on our samskars. Kill him, murder him unnecessarily, vinakarna, swat, because of your selfishness. So to fulfill your sensual desires, whatever you do, if those thoughts are taking you towards negativity, that is called as avidya Maya. If those thoughts are elevating you, that is called as vidya Maya. We need not use the word Maya. Good thoughts, bad thoughts, healthy thoughts, unhealthy thoughts, elevating thoughts, depressing thoughts. So these are I should say, they indicate avidya Maya and vidya Maya. But the concept is both are part of the same system, which is Maya. Both are part of the same system. We have to take this vidya Maya to get over the avidya Maya. Avidya Maya stands like a rock, obstructing the vision of the divine. So use that vidya. It will help you to sail through. It will help you to penetrate that avidya Maya, because the mind should be occupied with something. If you substitute all these negative thoughts with constant rightful thinking, that will occupy. That will automatically, the negative thoughts will go. And naturally, you will start seeing goodness everywhere. That is the first step. We start seeing goodness everywhere. And then slowly, with every good act of ours, we are taking one step towards divinity. And if you remember, I said, more you evolve in this way, more consciousness or divinity will start shining. Another step you take, it will provoke you to take another. I'm feeling good. Let me do this only. Let me go and help somebody in the hospital. Let me go and help that old person. Let me empathize. Let me talk to my old friend who has been in some problem. So those are all selfless activities which will help or which will trigger the manifestation of the divinity. That is what he is saying. Chit, Jada, Granthi. Chit and Jada. Jada is not, being around, say, in that opaque ignorance. So when you start becoming active like this, that consciousness will start manifesting. Therefore, he says, take refuge in the Lord, and then you can express the divinity. So they have Swami Ranganathanandaji also gives example of magic and magician. You look at the magician very beautifully, he says, then you will understand Maya. If you concentrate on the magic, completely get involved, there is a magician, there's magic. He brings a flower out of nowhere. He brings a bird from somebody's shirt or something. You will start looking, what is this? My God, what is this? What is this? What is this? You become involved and you start believing that it is real. If you look at the magician and concentrate on what he is doing, you will understand that these are nothing but tricks. So therefore, Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa says, Swami Ranganathanandaji says, concentrate on the magician. Start looking, how is he doing this? That's what we are learning. Then you will not get involved in his magic, but you will appreciate his intelligence. But you will understand, oh, this is all a fooling us, illusion. Magic is nothing but illusion. So he says, don't get immersed in the magic. You understand, but quickly start focusing on the magician, and then you will come to know that it is all his trick. So concentrate, magician becomes a consciousness. Magic becomes a Maya. So this is how we have to change our attitude, and then we can cross. So becoming good is not enough. Also surrender. Prapadyante, with the devotion. Without bhakti, spiritual progress cannot happen. Only logic, only reasoning is not enough for us to progress, and progress means evolve, becoming blissful. All that requires total surrender. So that is about the Maya. Now he says in the next shloka, these two are very beautiful again. That is the 14th, right? 15th. Nama dushkrutino mudhaha prapadyante naradhamaha mayaya apahritadnyana asuram bhavamashritaha chaturvidha bhajante mam jana sukrutinorjuna arto jitnyasu arthi Jnani cha Bharatarshava. Two shlokas which say, who are those people? Now he says, to cross that Maya, that means to become, to understand me. Because when you when you cross over Maya, you'll understand. You will have to do, you will have to devote. Prapadyante, surrender, devote, have devotion, understand that there is God. Only then we will surrender. Now he says, who are those people who do not devote? Who are those people who do not devote to me? Dushkritino, they do not devote themselves to me. Who are those? The evildoers. The deluded, that means whose vision is hazy or deluded, okay, who are totally ignorant. Evildoers, then you can say deluded or ignorant. Lowest of Naradhama, lowest of all men, who do all kinds of lowest work, means not in terms of the thing. They do something which is antisocial. Naradhama. Deprived of, so these are the people who do not devote themselves, who cannot devote themselves to me. Evildoers, the deluded, the lowest of men. Then these people, Mayaya Apavrata Jnana, their wisdom, their thinking is carried away by the Maya, and they follow the way of asuras or evildoers. Therefore, they become like asuriya swabha. So, are you all with me? Is it going okay? Any doubts so far?
No, ma'am. Fine.
Fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Anywhere, if you have doubts, if there's any confusion, please stop.
Okay.
So, yeah, Krishna, thank you. Krishna says 4 types of people are, they cannot devote. In the previous shloka, he says, to understand me. Understanding him is a higher level, understanding Krishna. We assume that we are in a spiritual path and we are doing sincere practice and we want to know about him, but we are unable to do. So this thought comes to people who are always thinking good. But there is another category of people who cannot surrender. This is not possible. This is a way he has created. Because these people are, what are those categories? Those who are involved in um, evil things, as I said, robbery, murder, dishonesty, and cheating. All these people, and those who are deluded means they are ignorant. They think that richness, luxury, and they are happy. They may be happy because of their good karmas or whatever, or they might have made a lot of money, but they never think beyond. They always think this is life. I am enjoying. I am having a very good food, house to stay. They may be rich, they may not be rich. It doesn't matter. It doesn't it doesn't apply to only the affluent people. Even the poorest of the poor also, he also, in spite of being in the extreme poverty, he may or may not devote to God. It all depends on his samskar, his efforts. So these are the people, those who are deluded. These are the deluded people, those who perform evil tasks. We are nowhere near them, he says. They're all in full Maya. Like Duryodhana, he never had any principles. And also, uh, the lowest of men. Lowest of men means Radhama, Adhama. They do all kinds of wrong things here. All means similar. So these people, they are not able to discriminate. They don't even, they are miles away from the concept of divinity. That is Maya, Avidya Maya. They are miles away from the concept. They don't even think that God exists. Just like if you see Bhakta Prahlada, his story, his father was entirely, I am the one, I am ruling, I am that. So that way, these are all egoistic people who do all the evil deeds, who do not, who are completely carried away by the power of Maya, and they are called Asuram Bhava, Asuri Bhava, Asuri Bhava, trying to trouble people, destroy them for their selfish motive. Now, the opposite of that, in the next shloka, he says, so opposite of this, no, people who are doing good, they will devote to me. They understand there is good doers and all that. Apart from that, he goes one step ahead. What is the motive of people showing bhakti? What is the motive? Why do people come to me? Why do people pray? Okay, so any answers? Let me ask. Why do we pray God? Very basic, fundamental prayer only, simple. ಬೆಳಗ್ಗೆ ಎದ್ದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ ಮಾಡೋದು. We do namaskara and we pray God. What do we ask? Yeah, Chaitali, what is your take on, what is your opinion? What do we pray generally?
We have certain wishes, ma'am. We want those to be fulfilled. So we
correct.
pray and we demand for that.
Demand. Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kavita, what do we pray?
Uh,
Same. Can't hear you, Kavita. Internet idagide anta.
yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Same. We have some wishes we want it to be fulfilled. Yeah. Any other answers other than this?
For seeking knowledge.
Okay, for seeking knowledge, higher thing, that is higher. Yeah. Anything else? Okay. So, yes, seeking knowledge is also one of them. That's what he says in this shloka. Generally, majority, 4 types of virtuous human beings, opposite of the previous shloka. Now, we assume that all are virtuous because they pray God. So let's put that word pray God also, and they're doing good deeds. Okay, they're doing good deeds and they are praying. So 4 types of prayers Krishna will get. One is we pray when we are distressed. When we are distressed, as she said, naturally, this is a very common. When we are suffering, Krishna, please solve this problem. I want to get out of this problem. Obviously, In fact, Bhagavad Purana, Kunti herself, Kunti Stuti, she has told Krishna, she asked Krishna, keep giving me troubles because we always remember God when we are distressed. So, four types of people. One is distressed, one is a seeker of knowledge. Person wants to know, curious to know what it is. And third one is artharthi. Artho is distressed. Jitnyasu is seeker of knowledge. Jnana. Seeker, curious, one he wants to know what it is. Third one is seeker of wealth. And fourth one is jnani, spiritually wise. So he says, Arjuna, Bharatarshava, O bull among the Bharatas, four type of people actually worship me. One who is in distress, one who is curious to know about everything, about my creation or knowledge. Another person is who wants wealth. And also the fourth one is jnani. So Chaturvidha bhajante mam. Very beautifully he says, one thing we must understand, in whatever form, whatever be our interest, we pray God. That first thing he accepts it. He says all are good. All are good. He does not discriminate. He says four people bhajante mam. That's very fine, because the next shloka that comes. Now, who is the what? But what happens with these four artharthi, jitnyasu, all that? Because in the next shloka he says, Tesham jnani nitya yukta eka bhakti vishishyate priyo hi jnaninotyartham aham sacha mama priyaha. Among all these, and in the next shloka, udaraha sarva evaite. He says, all these are good. Because ultimately, at least they have accepted that there is somebody beyond the human mind. There is somebody super conscious who is beyond me, and therefore he shows his surrender towards that person. But we must understand, one who is distressed, what will be the nature of this kind of bhakti? Whenever we are in distress, this is very common, and Krishna approves because that's the first step of bhakti. Whenever we are in distress, we pray God. When the distress goes away, then we are back to normalcy. We assume that things are happening on its own accord. We fail to acknowledge. We fail to show our gratitude. We become egoistic the minute the problem is solved. If you observe yourself, you will come to know the human mind is like that. The Maya is like that. It's created like that. The minute it is solved, you say, "Abba, okay, everything went well." After that, we don't even go to puja room. I'm saying majority. May not be you people. So we don't go there. But even otherwise also, the intensity with which we pray is highest during distress. Therefore, Swami Vivekananda says, always it is the pain that teaches you the most. Because when we have so much of pain, we sit hours together praying, meditating, and the divinity is forced to come closer to us. And with continuous, I have seen people, and it works. Hanuman Chalisa is becoming very, very popular. It has been, it will be, particularly the youngsters. And Hanuman and all these saints, they are easily accessible vibrations around us. Many things happen like miracle. 7 times, 7 days, Hanuman Chalisa shows its miracle. I have heard people say that. Fair enough, very good. At least there is some bhakti, no? At least you have that, it's not in my control. Something else is working. Let me approach. This is definitely a good thing to go to God. But if it is continuously done, even when you are happy, then it carries a lot of weightage, and that elevates us to a higher state. Constant prayers, whether we are in distress or in happiness, if we continue to do that, Krishna is happier and he will take us to the higher state. That's one. Another ordinary state is for wealth. Most of the people come for wealth, he says. Many people come for wealth. One is distress, another one is wealth. Obviously, we want some wishes. We want to grow, we want to purchase. Oh God, I have seen that property, let it be finalized. So it's very common. But again, we are depending on him, considering that he is the provider of everything, right? And then jitnyasu, I want to know what it is. This person has crossed the limits of distress, calling him during distress or for wealth. He is not interested in wealth, he or she. He is not interested in distress. He says, it's Maya. It's okay. I will face it. Let me show me how I should be. I should get the key to for this suffering. How should I transcend the Maya? That is Jidnyasu. How should I transcend? How? Show me the way. So like that Bhagavad Gita comes, Bhagavad Puran comes, all that. There is Jidnyasu. And fourth one is a Jnani. He has already achieved. He knows everything, but still he keeps doing japa, tapa, everything. These are the people who continue to remember for two things. One is they're already engrossed in the Parabrahman, plus they may do more japa, tapa and all for loka sangraha, for the welfare of the people. They keep accumulating that punya. So jnani. So he says, so these are the four types of, devotees. So what happens is, now he says in the next shloka, Tesham jnani nityayukta ekabhakti vishishyate priyo vijnaninotyartham aham sacha mama priyaha. Now whom does he like the most of the four jnanis? He likes of the four bhaktas, devotees. He says, I like the jnani or the wise person, because of course of them the jnani, the wise person, eka bhaktihi, who has one pointed ever steadfast devotion to the one supreme, he excels because he is supremely dear to me, and he is supremely dear. I am very dear to him, and he also is very dear to me. That means he is very closest to me, and I am also closest to him. Closest, priya. It's a mutual relationship to the jnana. But he doesn't condemn. Always, when we have, when we have people performing among the students, let us say, there is somebody who outshines, isn't it? Naturally, the teacher who's hardworking. Teacher will not differentiate. She or he will give equal attention to all students. But in the heart of hearts, if there is one person who is extraordinary and who performs all his homework, who listens or who obeys the rules and regulations, obviously there is a liking to that student, isn't it? Because he's closest to me. Because I mean, even when I was teaching, people used to say, I had one student called Manuel Arun when I was teaching in ICRI. He was very good. I mean, he was so extraordinary performer, and attitude was very good. He used to speak very humbly. And whatever assignments were given, that was post-graduation, MSc Clinical Research. So I always used to say, Manuel, I used to call everyone, used to say, ma'am, he is your adopted son. Naturally, because, he's the one who's following everything, whatever we have to. So Jnani is like that. So what happens is this Jnani would have done lot of homework in the past life also, and consistently he has been doing. He is so devoted to the Lord, and therefore the Lord has manifested in him. He has achieved that Jnana, and therefore he says, I am very close to him. He is also very close to him. So among four, that is the highest level. If you remember, there's a story of Prahalada, Bhakta Prahalada. Prahalada is a son of one asura called Hiranyakashipu. And Hiranyakashipu is asura, and he becomes very, very arrogant. And in Puranas, if you see, even the asuras used to do meditation like this, to get wealth, to get power. Actually, it falls in this category only, wealth or power. Now, Hiranyakashipu wants to become the lord of all the three worlds. Okay, so he does tapas on Brahma, and then Brahma gives him Brahma appears for years together. He will do, and when he does that, Indra sends some apsaras and then try to distract him. He doesn't get distracted. These asuras are also very, very strong-willed. Willpower is very strong. So he prays Brahma, and then Brahma appears. He asks him for a boon. He says, I should not be killed. He puts condition during the day or night by a man or an animal, inside or outside the house. So he wants to take a boon where which disqualifies any human or deity to kill him. That means there is no death. Brahma says Tathastha. Now becomes a big question for Deva Devatas, everybody, because this person cannot die. And he says everywhere, he says, I am Narayana, Narayana. Son will be saying Narayana, Narayana. There's a different story because the son is born in an ashram when this fellow was doing tapas, and he is taught by Narada. So obviously, Prahlada, though born to an asura, he becomes a very, very pious person and highly devoted. So Hiranyakashipu, he starts telling everybody that no Narayana, I am the Parabrahma here. All the temples will start having Hiranyakashipu's idol, and the sages should start chanting Hiranyakashipu. And Prahlada is sent to a Gurukul where he tells the Gurus also should teach him, and question of survival. So everybody, everywhere, his photos, his idols, just like we see Rama, Krishna everywhere now, they see Hiranyakashipu. So then what happens is he tries to, then when Prahlada says, it cannot be you, very fearlessly, then he goes against his own son and tries to kill him. And it becomes extreme. And one day he says, is your Narayana in this wall? He says, yes, he's there. So he kicks, and Lord comes in the form of Narasimha, half lion and half human body, because he would have asked, and he comes during evening time, neither the day nor at night, and he comes on the threshold. It's called between the partition between the external and internal part of the house. We stand there on that wall, he comes, and then he kills him. And at that time, this Prahlada is totally fearless. He understands that he is Narayana himself who has manifested. And then he says, ask me any boon. I'll be more than happy to give you. This is what Narasimha, Narayana in the form of Narasimha asks. Prahlada's answer, extraordinary. He says, I'm not a businessman to trade in bhakti. It's not a deal. It's not a deal. My bhakti is one pointed. I just want to be one with you. I'm not going any deal here. I'm not doing any deal here. I am not a merchant or a trader in bhakti. Therefore, they say Prahlada rules is epitome of bhakti. And whenever we think of bhakti, it is Prahlada, because that is the way we have to pray. Having said that, I want to tell two things. One is, I watched, I think you would have watched this movie called Gravity. Gravity was, I keep telling this example. Gravity is a movie which is on about space. There is one lady, one pathologist is there, who goes to that spacecraft gets stuck, or it breaks, I think, that space shuttle. And then she somehow lands into a Chinese satellite or some space station, sorry. She lands there because her spacecraft that wrecks, and somehow she lands alone, pathologist, and she wants to see, she has some things in her mind through that space, this thing, she wanted to see the end of Earth or something like that. But it doesn't happen. Now she's stuck in the space shuttle, which belongs to Chinese. It belongs to China. As it gets connected to a satellite, and she gets connected to she puts on some switch, and it gets connected to some house in the China. And hello, she starts selling, and those people say, who's this? Who's speaking? She gets connected on the remote, through mobile connections, satellite connection. So she says, I am so and so, and I'm stuck here. Just a minute, we are praying, he says. The minute she hears that praying, how wonderful, she says. How wonderful. They're praying. How do I pray? I have never been taught how to pray. Imagine. She says, these are the dialogues, you can go back, which has impressed me like anything. She says, I have never been taught how to pray. Any religion, if you know how to pray, you can survive. Actually, prayer is very essential to survive, provided you are tuned to prayer. Now he's telling that, no, adharmi, and evildoers, they don't even know that there is something like prayer. And some people like this who are not exposed to, they're ignorant. How do I pray? She just closes her eyes. Oh my God, let me be with them. Let them pray. And the things get sorted out. Then she says something happens. Whether it is due to prayer or a coincidence, that is up to you to decide. But the fact is that we are all lucky that we know how to pray, and we have been exposed, we have been brought up in an environment which tells that there is some super conscious, and you can pray even if you are in distress or whatever. Prayer is something which is as a grace, it has come to all of us. Whoever prays is really lucky, because it is a fall, you can fall back on that prayer whenever you are in distress. My son, who's in US, he always believes in good work, but too much of praying and all he would not do. But whenever he is a typical of whenever there's distress, he said, Mummy, I am going to chant Hanuman Chalisa. All right. I said, at least now you remember, at least now you chant. So this concept of prayer itself is a big thing for us. You know, if you compare so many people who are unaware, it's a big thing. But as spiritual seekers, we need to understand when to pray. This is one thing. Another interview I attended, one lady who's an actress, television show. She lost her husband. I have explained this in initial sessions also. So that lady also, she says, how I have grown up with prayers, with meditation and all that. So that is something in distress also. She says, and this Swami Swarupriyananda also, I think he has mentioned how to pray. There's a beautiful clipping. I will share that also. Somebody had shared in our group, WhatsApp group also. So she says, I pray God, and I tell her that whatever comes, whatever distress, whatever disappointments, whatever difficulties I'm facing, it's okay. But you be with me. You be with me. Your presence is at most important, because your presence will help me to sail through. Your presence. For Taranti, he also says, no, if you surrender, then you can cross through the Maya. What is difficulty? It is ultimately the Maya only, no? It is Maya. But if you crib the same difficulty, a little bit enlightened person, he will say that difficulty, we first of all, we pray God, and little jnana if you have, how will you evaluate this distress? You will say, this had to happen because of Maya. Maya means my karma phala. My karma phala. Karma phala could be past also, present also, carelessness also. You would have not given attention, so you did a mistake and you are suffering now. And all that mistake, you are not aware, you are not consciously doing it. Okay, take it. It has come. I have to face this. But Lord, a true devotee will say, help me to sail through this. A true devotee, if, I mean, our evolution, initially we say, God help me, God help me. I'm going through this examination, or I'm going through this problem, financial distress. So Lakshmi Puja, and then let me get some money to sail through. An elevated person will say, this is your prasad, based on your law of karma. Now you help me to sail through this. Help me to accept it. See, there is a difference. No? In the first, you are asking him to give a proper solution which does not elevate you. Your bhakti may be there, but you're likely to go back to non-bhakti state. In the second one, it's okay, Krishna, you have given me this distress. Help me to sail through. Be with me. Hold me. Once I hold you, I can sail through, because I have to accept this as your prasad. Whatever comes, I will accept. So this is the kind of prayer in distress only, but with wisdom. With wisdom, we pray like this. Praying for wealth. Maybe, I don't know how it is, but they also work. And in the next shloka, he says different kinds of, people follow different gods and goddesses and all that. So this is the gist of type of bhakti. And next two, I will just, I think we lost the time, but at least the next one we will take. Udara sarva evaite jnanitvatmaiva me matam asthita sahi yuktatma mamevanuttamam katim. So udaraha means udaraha sarva evaite. Noble are all the four types of bhakti. What are those? distress, bhakti in distress, bhakti for wealth, bhakti for jitnyasu, curiosity, jnana, wisdom, and jnani. All are good. But jnani or the wise person, I regard as my very self. For with the mind steadfast, I said he or she is established in me alone as the supreme goal. This we have told. So this gives us a hope that none of the bhakti is inferior. All are good. But he says become. And everybody goes in their own pace, isn't it? It is very difficult for one to accept the distress. It's very difficult. Whatever I told is the way to go, described in Gita and Upanishads and Vedas, but it's not at all an easy path. But constant japa meditation will bring that state of sthita prajna we have discussed in the second chapter, wherein we remain unperturbed. Why do we remain unperturbed, whether sukha or dukkha? We enjoy, but we don't become too morose or we don't become too excited because our mind is fixed with one pointed devotion. And then he says, Bahunam janmanam ante jnanavanam prapadyate vasudeva sarvamiti samahatma sudurlabha. So, as we keep on going in the path of bhakti, first we remember only in distress, then we don't remember. Then, if our bhakti is so strong, more and more distress you will get, so that you are drawn to him again and again. As I told, like a hurdle race. If God feels that you are doing good work, but you are having hurdles, no problem. He will give you that bhakti also, and he will see that you get over that, and then you are taken care of. If you remember, yoga kshemam vahamyaham. I will take care of all your requirements. You concentrate on me. Ananyas chintayanto mam ye janaha paryupasate tesham nityabhiyuktanam yogakshemam vahamyaham. If you constantly remember me, nityayuktanam, if you constantly, then whatever is your requirement, your child's marriage, your child's education, I will take care. Cholo, leave it to me. You concentrate on me. Of course, we have to act. It's not that we are not, but act constantly remembering him. Anyway, he's going to take care. So that kind of shraddha, that kind of surrendering, if you keep doing, he will take care, and more bhakti will come. And at the end of many births, man or woman of jnana or wisdom takes refuge in me, jnanavanam prapadyate, and realizing that Vasudeva Sarva, everything is Vasudeva. Problems are also his, solutions are also his, good is also he, bad is also he, because everything is Maya, avidya Maya, vidya Maya. We cross this and reach him, and then we say, okay, everything was he only, no. So that is Vijnana. Jnana Vijnana Yoga is that. We go there, we cross, we see him, and then once we see him, we understand how did we cross? We crossed this good thought, bad thought, everything. But then we understand this is his projection. So Vasudevaha Sarvamiti. Sarva means Maya is also he, Sachidananda Paramatma is also he. Everything is he. All are he. So like that, he says all this is Vasudeva and Sri Krishna. And it's Durlabha. Samahatma Durlabha. It's very, very difficult to get such a soul, you know. So next shloka we will take up in the next session. I think it was a little longer session today. Any doubts or queries and additions? Please open up. Anybody has anything? Padmini?
Thing, ma'am, it is the contentment is the main source of happiness. Whatever we have, does it mean that's way also? Like,
Correct. Yeah, that's very correct. Contentment means you will not ask, you will not be a bhakta. Okay, that is correct. Contentment, contented person, correct, you're right. Contented person will not become a bhakta for wealth. But what he should do next now, he's contented. No, he should not be there. He should not be contented with the devotion. He should enhance his spiritual practice and start getting knowledge. Contented person is correct. He is. What about the distress? Contented person, does he? Is he comfortable? I mean, is he able to overcome his distress without much perturbance? That also we have to think, no?
So that may be another context. Like
Yes, another, yeah. See, I am contented with my possessions. I am contented with my worldly knowledge. I am happy, but I should be in the phase of devotion. Only contentment will not make us a bhakta. Contented because we thank God for everything. We are contented because more than what I asked, He has given enough. But now, what should I do? I should learn to tide over my crisis uh, in a different way. As I told, now I should be able to get over my crisis or disappointments with a balanced state of mind. Sukha dukhe samay krutva. This is expected. Contentment is one. You have crossed something. That is also to be appreciated. I don't deny that. But then we should go to another level.
okay, ma'am.
Right? Yeah?
Yes.
Okay. Anything else? Yeah.
Ma'am, I have one doubt. Apara Prakriti, Para Prakriti, and Avidya Maya, Vidya Maya. These are all, can we relate, ma'am?
Of course. Vidya Maya, Avidya Maya are in Apara Prakriti.
Okay, both are in Apara Prakriti.
Yes. Both are in Apara Prakriti. Apara Prakriti, in other words, is Maya. Para Prakriti, though he uses the word Prakriti, it is not, it is consciousness. It is pure consciousness. That is my nature, he says. Pure consciousness. It doesn't actually mean the matter or something, no. Apara Prakriti is Maya, matter, material, thoughts, good thoughts, bad thoughts. So both are part of Apara Prakriti.
Okay, but ma'am, in Apara Prakriti, you said there will be no manifestation.
No, there will
In
be manifestation. No. On its own, it doesn't manifest. Apara Prakriti is manifested only, but on its own, it doesn't. Unless the Para Prakriti shines through that. That is the meaning. During creation, no. See, one of the Apara Prakriti is 5 elements, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
The wind is created. That is Apara Prakriti. The wind flows with Para Prakriti. The sun shines. Shining is because of Para Prakriti. Sun is Apara Prakriti. You understand? Water on its own doesn't have.
Chaitanya Shakti we can
Yes.
put as Para Prakriti.
Yes, exactly.
Ma'am, I'm not getting this. I mean, Avidya Maya, Vidya Maya have understood, but how I have to, I mean, where I have to put this in Apara Prakriti or Para Prakriti? Because they are not.
No, don't get confused. Para Prakriti is to be experienced. Divinity, superconscious, or Atma. Take it as Atma. Okay? Para Prakriti is that Atma which is projecting entire and manifesting or energy, whatever. You don't have to worry. You cross this Apara Prakriti or this nature or our we don't do evil things. Okay, we have crossed that. That is Avidya Maya. That's part of Avidya Maya. Now, when we put our another part, Avidya means what? Anything which takes you away. Okay, all these desires, overdose, greediness, desire, jealousy, all these are hindrances in Apara Prakriti only. Okay, Apara Prakriti is 5 Pancha Mahabhuta and mind, buddhi, ahankara. All this ashta, all 8-fold manifestation. With using all these only, no. So all this is Maya, but using that only, when we use that and we surrender. What is surrendering? Mind is surrendering. What is mind? It is Maya only. So surrendering mind becomes Vidya Prakriti. Egoistic mind becomes Avidya Prakriti. The same mind. Did you understand?
Yeah. Okay.
Same mind, surrendering mind. When you change the dynamics of the same manasu, same buddhi, same ahankara, that becomes Vidya. You divert it. That's all. Use the same thing. Use the same hands to donate. Use the same mouth to speak good words. Mouth can speak bad words. It becomes Avidya Maya. The mouth speaks good words. It becomes Vidya Maya. You understood? Vidya.
Yes.
Then diversion of whatever is there towards that becomes a Vidyamaya.
Yeah. Okay, ma'am. Yeah, yeah.
No? Yeah. So everything is happening in this Maya. Now, as you grow more and more and more, no, you become so evolved. Like you said, Jnani, you become this one, that one. Ultimately, you become very sattvic, but still you are in Maya because you say, I am sattvic. Once you grow more in that sattvic and then say, this body, everything is Parabrahman. I am not the doer. I am not the body also. I am that Satchidananda. That means all Maya is dissolved. That time you become para. You only become this body, this mind, this subtle body, this thing which was there. That becomes it becomes one with para prakriti. Everything, no Maya, absolutely.
Yeah. Yes,
So
ma'am.
it is. It's not easy to, these things keep. It's very volatile, actually.
But for
Volatile.
listening, it is very nice, ma'am. I mean, after attaining, it will be very good, but for listening also, it is very nice.
But it's if it was very easy, no, so much of Vedas, Upanishads, Bhagavad Gita wouldn't have come. Everybody would have become jnani. Manushanam Sahasreshu, he says only one in among millions, not even thousands, actually attain. Because it requires a constant effort, but effort is complemented by his grace or his manifestation. That is the beauty of this whole effort. Unlike other, everywhere, you work little more, you work hard, you by heart the tables or your formula and all that, you put effort, something else also supports it. That is the beauty of this whole human effort, actually. And Krishna also enjoys, it seems, doing all this. Yeah. So any other queries? Anybody else? Anything? Kavita, Chaitali, Peter, anything want to add?
No,
ma'am.
Right.
it's very helpful. Ishvara Pariyana.
Pardon?
I'm reminded of the Yoga Sutras, Ishvara Pradihana.
Okay. It is understanding. You are able to get the gist of what we are discussing, right?
Yes.
Okay, then.